Hey, welcome back to Electric Guitar Basics. My name's Andrew and we are at week number 6. If you've been following along with these weekly practice routines so far, congratulations. I really hope and trust that you've been seeing some improvement in your playing. These weekly lessons are the exact same sort of little routines that I give to my private students, and as much as it helps them, I'm trusting that it's going to help you as well. Okay, so things to remember. 1, you want a metronome. I use one on my phone. You can get a million free apps, regardless of whether you're an Android or an iPhone user. The other thing that I find really handy is a kitchen timer. And the kitchen timer is there so that we can set it for, say, 2 minutes. We can work on one exercise for that 2-minute period. As soon as the alarm goes off, stop, move on to the next. That way, if you're someone who is time poor, and that's really in a lot of ways what these weekly practice routines are designed for, you can get in about 8 minutes, you can get a well-rounded practice routine for your electric guitar, so your lead guitar playing. And as long as you do this 8 minutes every day, you're going to improve. Let's dive into the first exercise for the day or for the week, which is a alternate picking exercise. Now this little one is a bit of a finger twister. It's probably the hardest one we've done so far. Once again, another spider variant. Now if we remember, we're looking at 1 finger per fret. So first finger or index finger on the first fret, middle finger or second finger on the second fret, third finger or ring finger on the third fret, pinky or fourth finger is on the fourth fret, and that's just how we're going to relate the pattern. And the pattern goes 2, 3, 1, 4. Now remember, we're looking at alternate picking, and if I'll just play it slowly for you, it should sound like this. As with all the others, just remember, run that one from the first fret all the way up to the 12th fret and back again. Do it with a metronome, do it for that 2 minutes to the timer, and it's going to really work your fingers. It's going to help synchronize your hands together. Okay, our scale pattern for the week is going to be pattern 5 of the minor pentatonic scale. Now this one has its root note under our third finger. We're looking at the key of A as our example, and the scale will look and sound like this. Now to play it, we're simply going to start, in this case, A on the 5th fret of the E string is our root. We're going to start on the 3rd fret, so it's going to be our flat 7 from the pentatonic scale. And we're going to play from our index finger on our 3rd fret up to our 3rd finger on the 5th fret. We're going to do the same thing on the A string. For the D string, we're going to scoot over with our index finger to the 2nd fret, and our pinky is going to play the 5th fret. We repeat the same again on the G string, and then on both B and high E strings, we're going to go 3rd fret with our index finger to 5th fret with our 3rd finger. I'll play it nice and slow once more, and I'm starting from the root note. As with all the scales, try playing them in all of the natural keys. So just remember that tonic is under our 3rd finger on the low E string. And I'd play it through basically C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. That way the flat and sharp keys are only a semitone away. Now here's a lick that utilizes that scale shape. It's going to sound a little bit like this. Actually, it's going to sound a lot like this. It's a little bluesy number. It's based around triplets. We're using the top 3 strings of pattern 5 of our minor pentatonic scale, plus we're adding in a blue note, or what they'd call the flat 5. Now to play this lick, we're going to start index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. We're going to pluck that, and then we're going to hammer on the 4th fret and the 5th fret on the B string. And that's one triplet pattern. From there, we're going to play 3rd fret on the high E string, followed by the 5th fret on the B string, and then a pull off to the 4th fret on the B string. Our next little triplet pattern is going to be index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, up to the 5th fret of the G string, back down to the 3rd fret of the B string. And then to finish it off, 3rd finger, 5th fret of the G string, we're going to bend it slightly sharp, And then we're going to resolve that back to the root note, which is on the 2nd fret of the G string. So nice and slow will sound and look like this. Cool, practice that little guy. Remember to visualize that lick inside that pattern 5 of the minor pentatonic scale. That way we're going to be able to find that lick up and down the neck no matter what key we need it in. And that actually brings us on to our last exercise. Now, if you are on my Patreon where you get the handout sheets with these, you'll notice that unlike all the other weeks where we've had 4 exercises written out, this week's only got 3. Now the reason for that is we want to take this lick and we're going to practice moving it around a 12-bar blues. The pattern is going to be 4 bars of A, 2 bars of D, followed by another 2 bars of A, and then the turnaround section is going to be a bar of E, a bar of D, a bar of A, and then back to a bar of E. Now what we're going to do is we're basically going to find these licks in those 3 keys, or essentially for those 3 chords. So A is easy, it's how we learnt it. Now for D, we've got to find out where that D minor pentatonic shape is, so pattern 5 that we learnt today. And our root note is on the 10th fret of the low E string or the 10th fret of the high E string. And then we simply replicate that lick in that position. Then we do the same thing for E. So E's 2 frets higher or a tone higher than D. So we just go up 2 frets is the easy way. So our root note's at the 12th fret on both of our E strings. So we're going to play it like such. Now what we're going to do to practice this is think of it like this. So we've got 4 bars of A to start our 12-bar blues. So we're going to play it twice. Then we go to D, then back to A. Now when we get to our E chord, we're probably not going to have enough time to squeeze the whole lick in. So what we're going to do is just shorten it. And in this case, I'm going to omit the last note. And then the same for our D, for that 1 bar. And then back to A, and because it's the last sort of 2 bars of our turnaround, we're just going to linger on that one. So, and that's it. Now, if you're on Patreon, I will have a backing track up there for you to practice this with. If not, jump on YouTube. There are literally millions of 12-bar blues backing tracks. You can find it in any key that you want, and the more keys that you practice this lick in and this concept of moving the lick through the chords, the more comfortable you're going to be with doing this. If you've gotten this far through my video, and if you've gotten something out of this course so far, or even out of just this video, I'd love it if you subscribed, give me a like. If there's anything you'd like to see in the future in one of these little weekly practice routines, leave me a comment down below, or even if you just want to share how you're going with it and how it's helped you or whatever, yeah. Love to hear from you either way. Anyway, until I see you next week, have an awesome week. Peace, guys.